Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a serious topic, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world, and the reasons behind their perilous status. These countries are often in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, from ongoing wars and political instability, to economic collapse and social unrest. The factors that make these places dangerous are complex and multifaceted. Now, before you start planning your next vacation based on who's at the bottom of this list, let's be clear. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about awareness and understanding. This is about understanding the realities faced by people in these nations and hopefully sparking some meaningful conversations. Many of these countries are home to millions of people who are just trying to live their lives amidst chaos and uncertainty. We're going to unpack the complex factors that contribute to a country's instability, from political turmoil and social unrest to economic hardship and ongoing conflict. Each of these elements plays a significant role in shaping the day-to-day experiences of the people living there. So buckle up, because things are about to get real. We'll explore the historical context, current events, and potential future scenarios for each of these countries. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of why these places are considered dangerous and what might be done to improve the situation. It's important to remember that behind every statistic and news headline, there are real people facing unimaginable challenges. Our goal is to shed light on their stories and the broader issues at play. We'll also touch on the international efforts being made to bring peace and stability to these regions. From diplomatic negotiations to humanitarian aid, there are many initiatives aimed at making a positive impact. Despite the dire circumstances, there are always stories of hope and resilience. Communities coming together to rebuild, individuals making a difference, and the relentless human spirit that refuses to be broken. So join us as we take a closer look at the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world. It's a journey that promises to be both eye-opening and thought-provoking. Let's get started. First up, we have Syria. This Middle Eastern nation, once known for its rich history and cultural heritage, has now become synonymous with conflict and devastation. Now, you don't need a PhD in international relations to know that Syria has been through the ringer. The Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, has left an indelible mark on the country. What started as peaceful protests against the Assad regime quickly escalated into a full-blown conflict, drawing in various factions and international powers. For over a decade, this country has been ravaged by civil war, turning cities into rubble and displacing millions. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to dust, and the human toll is staggering. Over half of the pre-war population has been forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge either within Syria or in neighboring countries. The Assad regime, various rebel groups, and international actors have all contributed to the chaos, making it a tinderbox of violence and instability. The involvement of foreign powers has only complicated the situation further, turning Syria into a battleground for geopolitical interests. The regime's brutal crackdown on dissent, coupled with the rise of extremist factions, has created a complex and deadly conflict. Add to that a crippled economy, widespread human rights abuses, and the rise of extremist groups, and you've got a recipe for disaster. The economic infrastructure has been decimated, leading to rampant unemployment and poverty. Human rights organizations have documented countless atrocities, from chemical attacks to mass executions. Extremist groups have exploited the chaos, further destabilizing the region and posing a threat to global security. Syria's plight is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of prolonged conflict and the urgent need for a peaceful resolution. Next, we travel to Afghanistan, a nation that's been synonymous with conflict for decades. The rugged landscapes and ancient cities have witnessed countless battles, invasions, and internal strife. From the Soviet invasion in the 1980s to the rise of the Taliban in the 1990s, and the subsequent US-led invasion in 2001, Afghanistan's history is a tapestry of turmoil and resilience. After the US withdrawal and the Taliban's swift takeover, the country plunged into a new era of uncertainty. The images of desperate Afghans clinging to planes at Kabul airport became a stark symbol of the chaos and fear that gripped the nation. The international community watched in shock as the Taliban, promising a new, more moderate rule, quickly reasserted their control. The Taliban promised a more moderate rule this time around, but the reality on the ground tells a different story. Humanitarian crisis? Check. The streets of Kabul and other cities are filled with people struggling to find food, shelter, and basic necessities. Aid organizations are working tirelessly, but the scale of the need is overwhelming. Restrictions on women's rights? Check. Women, who had begun to taste freedom and education over the past 2 decades, now find themselves confined once again. Protests by brave women demanding their rights are met with harsh crackdowns. Schools for girls remain closed, and the dreams of a generation are being stifled. Persecution of minorities? Check, check, check. Ethnic and religious minorities such as the Hazara community face increased threats and violence. Many are forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in already overcrowded camps. The promise of a more inclusive Taliban government seems like a distant dream. It's a heartbreaking situation, and the path forward remains unclear. Afghan children who should be playing and learning are instead growing up amidst ruins and fear. Families are torn apart, and the hope for a peaceful future seems elusive. The world watches, but the question remains, what can be done to help Afghanistan find its way out of this darkness? South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, is sadly also one of its most dangerous. Born from conflict, this landlocked country has been plagued by civil war almost since its inception. Tribal rivalries, political power struggles, and competition for resources have fueled a brutal conflict marked by horrific violence and widespread displacement. Despite numerous peace agreements, the situation remains volatile, leaving millions in desperate need of humanitarian assistance. Yemen, often dubbed the Forgotten War, is a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of conflict. For years, a brutal civil war has raged between the Yemeni government, backed by Saudi Arabia, and Houthi rebels. The result? A humanitarian catastrophe of epic proportions. Millions face starvation, healthcare is practically non-existent, and infrastructure has been decimated. It's a complex web of alliances, geopolitics, and suffering, and a tragic example of how quickly a nation can unravel. Iraq, a nation forever marked by the US-led invasion in 2003, continues to grapple with the ghosts of its past. While the defeat of ISIS was a major turning point, the country remains deeply unstable. Sectarian violence, political corruption, and a struggling economy continue to plague Iraq. The scars of war run deep, and the road to recovery is long and arduous. Somalia, a nation synonymous with piracy and chaos, has been teetering on the brink of collapse for decades. The weak central government has struggled to exert control, leaving a vacuum filled by al-Shabaab militants, clan militias, and criminal gangs. Piracy, terrorism, and inter-clan violence are rampant, making it one of the most dangerous places in the world. The Central African Republic, a nation trapped in a cycle of violence, is a stark reminder of the human cost of religious and ethnic tensions. Since 2012, the country has been embroiled in a brutal civil war, pitting Muslim Salika rebels against Christian anti-Balaka militias. Atrocities have been committed by all sides, leaving the population traumatized and displaced. Libya, once ruled with an iron fist by Muammar Gaddafi, has descended into chaos since his overthrow in 2011. Rival governments backed by foreign powers have been vying for control, turning the country into a battleground. Militias run rampant, human trafficking is a major issue, and the economy is in shambles. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, a nation blessed with vast natural resources but cursed by conflict, has been dubbed the rape capital of the world. For decades, armed groups have terrorized the population, committing horrific acts of sexual violence and exploiting the country's mineral wealth. Despite UN peacekeeping efforts, peace remains elusive, leaving millions trapped in a cycle of violence and poverty. Venezuela, once a wealthy oil-producing nation, has experienced a dramatic fall from grace. Under Nicolas Maduro's socialist regime, the economy has collapsed, leading to hyperinflation, food shortages, and a mass exodus of its citizens. Crime is rampant, political repression is widespread, and the healthcare system has crumbled. It's a cautionary tale of how quickly a nation can unravel under economic mismanagement and political turmoil. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Stay safe and see you in the next video.